Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the AnyLogic 9 preview. There will be 3 presenters today. Here is Nikolai Churkov, Principal Software Engineer at the AnyLogic Company, and Yaroslav Astafiev, who is the head of AnyLogic 9 development. Guys, we're very much excited because today there will be a first public presentation of the AnyLogic 9. Namely, we will show a web-based model development environment. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with AnyLogic, but just in case there is someone who is not that much familiar, we'll do a short intro. The AnyLogic Company offers what we call a product ecosystem. The core is a general purpose model development environment and a very flexible and powerful simulation engine. On top of that, we have a number of vertical solutions in the form of libraries. These are dedicated to some specific application areas or industries, such as material handling, pedestrian or road traffic modeling, railroad transportation simulation, or modeling of fluid and bulk matter. Together, the libraries and the simulation engine and the development environment make what is called AnyLogic product, the product that is selling today. We also have a cloud-based execution environment for AnyLogic models, and it is you can basically go to cloud.anylogic.com to see what it's look like. We also have a separate product which is called AnyLogistics, and AnyLogistics combines the power of linear optimization with simulation to provide the platform for supply chain design. And also, as our strategic activity, AnyLogic is currently the leading simulation platform for applied artificial intelligence. With AnyLogic and Cloud API, ability to export AnyLogic models to popular AI development environments such as Microsoft Bonsai or PathMind, and also with AnyLogic Python connectivity, we enable AI developers to train and test learning agents in simulated environments. And now we would like to share with you a couple of facts we're really proud of. Today, AnyLogic is the absolute technology leader with the largest user community in the space of simulation modeling for business applications. And this is, by the way, what Winter Simulation Conference is about. Just a couple of numbers. On the left, you can see the percentages of case studies presented at last Winter Sim a year ago, developed with different tools. As you can see, more than 1/3 of models were developed using AnyLogic. On the right, there are sizes of LinkedIn user communities of different simulation tools. And again, as you can see, about 1/3 of professional model developers use AnyLogic. A couple of other facts. 40% of Fortune 100 companies and 20% of Fortune Global 500 use AnyLogic for simulation, and also 75 out of the world's top 100 universities teach and carry out research using our products. This slide we first showed 3 years ago at Winter Sim 2017, and we had to modify it a little bit, and I'll tell you where. This is roughly a life cycle of a simulation model with development, conceptual modeling, usage, etc. Roughly, it can be divided into 2 parts, model development and model execution or model usage. And historically, execution first was taking place on the same laptop or desktop where the development environment was installed. Later on, vendors added the ability to export models, model runtimes to a different machine. And then 3 years ago, we said that, well, guys, the execution is moving to the cloud. And now we can say that it has already happened with the existence of the AnyLogic Cloud. Now, 3 years ago, we said that development will probably stay offline, stay on a laptop for a while, but now we have to reconsider that statement because development is also moving to the browser and the cloud, and this is our topic today. In seconds, We will start showing you what we call AnyLogic 9 MVP, Minimum Viable Product. It will work in a clean browser, nothing is installed locally. It'll have a 100% web UI. You will see a little bit of a new experience of graphical model editing, new design of some UI elements such as object properties, completely new features, zoom out view, and animation of the running model will also take place in the browser. The backend, which is in this case located somewhere in the Amazon clouds, there will be model compilation services and obviously the model execution. Now a little bit of a disclaimer. This MVP is limited to pedestrian modeling only. So you will only see the blocks of AnyLogic pedestrian library, pedestrian markup, and some basic shapes. With that said, to AnyLogic 9 MVP demo.
Thank you for the intro, Andrei. Now we, together with Yaroslav, are going to create a new model from scratch. On the screen, you can see the plain Chrome browser. There are no plugins or anything else installed on this machine. To start developing model in AnyLogic 9, I simply go to this web address. And here is the AnyLogic 9 UI. On the left there are a couple palettes, namely pedestrian library and the presentation shapes. And the main part of the screen is obviously occupied by the graphical editor with empty canvas. We can pan and zoom.
Okay, so we are ready to create a simple pedestrian model. I will start with creating the layout. Suppose the layout exists in the form of JPEG image. So I just select the image shape on the palette and choose the image. Also, I need to align it and make it a little bit smaller. And I will be drawing the walls on the top of that image, so that's why I will lock it. Okay, and probably we are ready to start drawing a wall. And in AnyLogic 9 we worked a lot in making graphical editor very efficient. This wall contains straight as well as curved segments. And as you draw you can create both and edit previously created points. There also are guidelines that should help you to align wall segments. And by the way, the facility we are about to model is a museum hall with just one art object, an installation.
And this will be our only installation today.
So some visitor will come in and stop by to see the installation, and others will skip it and proceed directly to the exit. Let's say the purpose of this model is to understand the density of the visitors. These days it might be particularly important, you know. So we obviously can change the appearance of the wall, its width and its color. And now I'll model the installation by the shaded area, which will be treated as an obstacle. Let me draw it. And I see here we are. We are ready to implement the logic.
Thank you, Yaroslav. In AnyLogic, the layout and the logic of the model are defined separately. And now I would like to start defining the logic of pedestrian flow. It starts with ped source block, continues with select output object. Then we will have a ped wait block to model watching the installation. And then it will be a ped go to block. And the flowchart will finish with ped sync. Now we are connecting these blocks. Okay. Okay, here we are. And I just clicked on this ped source block and its properties appeared on the right. I will change the arrival rate and a comfortable speed of museum visitors. Also, I need to define where my visitors will appear. I will choose to draw a new target line right here. You remember, not everybody wants to see the installation. So I will split the flow by defining two probabilities. 80% will watch it and 20% will proceed to the exit. And I will just give some meaningful name to this select output block. For those who watch the installation, I will define a special area of rectangular form and specify it in the location of paid weight block. Finally, we need to define the exit location and provide it to the PET-GO-TO block. Also, we will assume that the time needed to enjoy the installation is uniformly distributed between 30 seconds and 2 minutes. Okay, some final checks and we are ready to run the model.
So probably we are ready to start, and as I'm pressing the run button, the model gets compiled and launched on the server, and its animation will be fed to my browser. Okay, let's speed up a little bit the model. So here we see the visitors running into the museum hall. Some stop and some run to the exit directly. This vector animation is fully interactive. You can click objects and inspect their activity. Also, you can see some statistics inside those blocks. Or just, for example, you can easily speed up the model. So I guess you understand the main idea. Okay, we are ready to back to the model editor. And now we are done with this model, and in the remaining time we will show you one of the completely new features, which is called actually zoom out view. To do it, we need to open a more complex model. This model is a hierarchical with multiple objects or agents. So to efficiently navigate and manage such models, it's essential to have a good view on objects' relationships. So here's the AnyLogic 9 actually do. AnyLogic 9 analyzes the model structure and builds zoom out view. Now you can select an object and its relationship with the other objects are highlighted. So if you decided to dive inside an object, you just can simply click on it. And just like in a Google Maps, if you start and continue zooming out, you get to the Earth view. I guess that's it with the demo, and let's go back to the slides.
Thank you, Yaroslav and Nikolai. That was a wonderful demo. And now let's go through some features of AnyLogic 9 that we did not show you during that MVP preview. First, AnyLogic 9 will support multiple scripting languages. In addition to Java, the modelers will be able to choose and use Python. As Python is getting more and more popular these days because of its ease of use and higher level of abstraction, and also because it is becoming a sort of standard for data scientists and AI developers, we decided to add Python option to AnyLogic. Second, for complex industrial model development, we plan to enable import and usage of building information models, BIMs, into AnyLogic. As to GIS, today AnyLogic is the only tool where you can include GIS maps into your simulations and use various geographical information services like routing and location search. in AnyLogic 9. This will be further improved with more meta information, dynamic data such as traffic conditions, and also country-specific search and routing. AnyLogic is standard for simulation in many global organizations, and models are being developed by teams as well as by individual modelers. In AnyLogic 9, we're answering the demand for teamwork support by enabling integration with version control software such as Git, and we will enable branching, merge of conflicting files, etc. And now, probably the most interesting part, AnyLogic 9 installation options. This is where 9 is significantly different to 8 and actually very much different to any other software existing today. First, for those guys who would like to stay within the classical paradigm, everything should be installed and work in my laptop, don't worry. That option will still be available with the same set of operating systems supported. But what really opens up more possibilities is the server installation of AnyLogic 9. In this setup, the IDE, Integrated Development Environment backend, and the model execution environment, functionally same as the AnyLogic cloud, is installed on a server, a cluster, or a private cloud. This immediately enables what we call front-end only users working from the browser, which, by the way, complies with the most strict security requirement like no data on the client machine. If someone is traveling or wants to work offline for whatever reason, that is obviously possible with the same old school local installation. And finally, should you have pure end users in your organization or externally, those guys who don't develop models but only run them to obtain simulation results and analyze them, they will be able to run the models by logging into AnyLogic private cloud execution environment, including in AnyLogic 9, and enjoy scalable high-performance computing. The backend architecture of AnyLogic 9 is of course scalable and allows for incremental addition of servers. And now a little bit of AnyLogic 9 roadmap. As you can see on this slide, there are 3 threads of development. First, this is AnyLogic 8, the product that is currently selling, and we just have released AnyLogic 8.7 with improvements in material handling, pedestrian library, and also some improvement in CAD drawing import. The AnyLogic Cloud is a web service, and obviously its latest developments are continuously delivered to the users. On the AnyLogic private cloud side, we just have released a new version, including a much better administration interface and some other features like downloadable all-runs view. And AnyLogic 9, the current state is the prototype, the MVP that you have seen a while ago, and it's currently available for limited external testing. What's going to happen next? Next year, in September, in Nashville, Tennessee, at the AnyLogic Conference 2021, we plan to announce the release of AnyLogic 9. That version will include all the functionality of 8, including all the vertical libraries. It will probably not include all the features that we went through today, such as multiple scripting languages and some others, but it will be already more functional than AnyLogic 8. And then later on we plan to work on that version, improving it, and obviously we will continue the AnyLogic Cloud. Guys, that is it with our presentation, and now we would like to welcome your questions. So hello again, everyone. I hope you can hear us. So here are same 3 people, and we're this time live. And we would like to welcome your questions with regards to what you have just seen. So Basically, guys, we're at the moment at the final stages of development of the new great product, which will move development of simulation models to the next level. And basically, it is a completely web-based thing. You will be able to work from a clean browser from anywhere, and the backend, the execution system, which is of course highly scalable and highly capable of running heavy experiments, can be installed on a server, a cluster, a private cloud, or a public cloud as well. Maybe in the meantime, while there's no questions, you would like to choose some other features, or we can probably share the screen, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So,
Okay, so if you see my screen, is it okay? Okay. So while we are waiting for your questions, it could be probably I'll spend some time to provide some actions that you probably want to share. So here's a different palettes that we didn't show you again, and the new thing that we call a smart polyline is kind of a concept of different modeling elements. When I want to use it, I just click it like a smart polyline and draw anything that I wanted to draw. And probably when I finish my task, I wanted to convert it to any kind of AnyLogic 9 elements. Just for example, I want to convert it to the wall. So here's the main idea, that we're trying to not be catched to what type of element I actually wanted to create. It could be any kind of wall, rectangular wall, circular wall, or maybe just any other form, or maybe it could be target line or service with area and other stuff. And the main idea is that we have one kind of polyline element that can be converted into any kind of markup or presentation elements. It's pretty simple idea, and if I don't want to pay enough attention to where is this element that I actually wanted to create, I can use some universal polyline element.
all right.
Do you have any questions, probably?
Thanks, Yaroslav.
Okay, will there eventually be more libraries on the cloud version? Okay. Because the development of the libraries is a continuous flow. So we are in AnyLogic 8. We have several libraries covering different verticals, and in AnyLogic 9 we take all these libraries to AnyLogic 9 and continue the development. And if we decide to make new libraries, cover new directions of simulation modeling, we will, of course, we will start.
Yeah. So guys, please don't worry. The reason you only see or you just have seen one library in this MVP is just because we're testing some UI features, and we implemented the kind of minimum set that would allow us and the selected users to play a little bit with the UI and give us the feedback. But when AnyLogic 9 is released, of course, every vertical that is supported by every library will certainly be available in AnyLogic 9 as well. And so there will be no drop in functionality, only improvements and only growth. Okay, while we're still waiting for other questions, I would like to welcome everybody to the AnyLogic Conference 2021. We is gonna happen in September in Nashville, and hopefully the planet will be in better shape by then, and offline will somehow, at least partially, return into our lives. So typically, the AnyLogic conference is a meeting of about 200 simulation professionals with like best in class case study presentations from the AnyLogic users, and always at the AnyLogic conference we show and unveil the new features, new developments, and we also discuss the AnyLogic roadmap. So please, if you're interested in what it is, and if you're interested in registering, please go to our website and find the AnyLogic conference under, I think it's under the resources, whatever. I can probably show it here.
Okay, and we have one more question.
We have, excellent.
Okay,
so
Jeff Smith, excellent demo, thank you. Can you talk a little more about the Python development options? Okay, we currently have in AnyLogic 8 Java-based simulation engine, and the libraries developed in AnyLogic, they are also Java-based. So in AnyLogic 9, we will add Python language as one more option to the model development, and the users will be able to choose which language to use when writing some codes and expressions inside the model. And what will be actually done inside is a bit technical stuff. This Python code will be executed in a connection with Java engine, so it will utilize the same simulation engine and the same set of the libraries, so there will be the same functionality.
Basically one engine, two scripting languages, right? Python and Java. And a little bit, as long as we have time and we can chat about anything, a little bit of history behind that. So why we chose Java as a scripting language in AnyLogic? That is because we never wanted to invent a private scripting language. We always thought that having a generally adopted and accepted full-powered programming language is a much better option, and by then Java was probably the best choice, the most high-level language that could be used for scripting in simulation models, because you know that although the main development is graphical, but you always, I mean, in any real project, you would need to write a couple lines of code. So we selected Java for that. Now these days there are new and more popular and more high-level languages such as Python, and Python is getting more and more popular, especially in the AI world and in data world, and therefore it's very, very natural and logical to add Python to our set of scripting languages, which we will do in AnyLogic 9. All right. Do we have?
So continuing this topic, will it be possible to mix Python and Java code in a single model? So for the current time, we do not suggest such a way, but it's technically possible. So in a Python-based model, user code written on Python will operate with data structures created by user appearing as Python objects. To operate them through Java, we should add some interfaces, and there are some additional efforts, and currently we do not think this would be highly requested scenario, but if it
Well,
is, we will consider it, of course.
Yeah. So it's the answer. The quick answer is technically possible. If we see demand for that, then obviously why not? Why not?
So just to be clear, if a user chooses Python, no need to so we currently think there's no need to mix this language to avoid some misunderstanding and some strange situations.
All right.
Probably I know only one scenario when we could create a library and connect it to AnyLogic, probably based on Java and operated via Python. So here's only one scenario that I can imagine where you actually need
we need this two languages. All right. Okay. Also, I would like to maybe repeat ourselves, saying that it's not just same thing that runs in the browser, although even that would be a great step forward. It's a complete new architecture of a simulation tool where which allows for new, let's say, model development and model usage scenarios. For example, like we said, a company installs AnyLogic on server and probably adds more and more nodes to the server. And this is where the models get executed and experiments are run. And then again, the developers, the employees of the company would be able to access AnyLogic from anywhere, just using the browser. And for example, if the requirement is that no data is stored on laptop on the end user machine, that's easy implementable with the AnyLogic 9. And also, when you actually run models, you would be able to choose where to run locally, to run on server, or to run maybe on a number of nodes in environments, high performance environments such as a private cloud. So that all will be possible in AnyLogic 9. And also because AnyLogic 9 includes the cloud functionality, its cloud functionality, the current cloud functionality comes with it. You will be able to use all the benefits of the cloud. For example, you would be able to use Java, Python, JavaScript API to models already exported and sitting in the cloud. And that automatically will be available inside a company that's where AnyLogic 9 is installed.
We have one more question. In the last slide showing the development timeline, it looked like 2 more updates to version 8 are planned. Is that so, or will version 8.7 have been the last update before version 9? Okay, we are continuing development of version 8. We have libraries, AnyLogic libraries. They are continuously improving, and we are approaching a shorter release cycle of AnyLogic. So we so currently we suggest releasing about every month, delivering some improvements, some features and fixes developed by the time. So there will be several minor versions and major versions as well, with some major features like storage systems in a material handling library, bidirectional conveyors, some improvements on Rail library, etc., etc.
Yeah. So with the AnyLogic 8 development thread, we obviously concentrate on something that will be seamlessly ported into 9, and these are our vertical solutions libraries for various industries or application areas. So we certainly will concentrate on that.
So the main idea of AnyLogic 9 is to be part of your internal company process itself. That's why are we looking a bit more detailed on version control systems and so on. So when you just create any model on your desktop application and probably run it, doing some local experiments, it's really difficult to share your solution to another employees of your company, and probably every person who develops model is doing it by himself. That's why it's really difficult to implement some kind of a big model that involved by a bunch of different peoples. And that's why we are trying to be part of your process. So you just created model, you made some minor update, pushed it into Git repository, and probably you can connect it to Cloud API and run some experiments, gather new data and new statistics, analyze it, and just understand, is it solution probably better than you already have? And this process can be continuously improving.
Yeah, thanks, Yaroslav. Yes, so yeah, that's right. It's in 9. It's not just where we support teamwork and team model development by integrating 9 with Git and allowing for merge, branching, and comparing parts of the model, but we also allow for CI/CD, which is continuous integration, continuous delivery. So if you want, you will be able to build such CI/CD workflows with AnyLogic simulation models in your corporate environment. Yeah, so yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for participating. We're looking forward to seeing you in an hour in another workshop, and also tomorrow and Thursday at AnyLogic Cloud and AnyLogic User Group. And thanks again, and have a wonderful day.